Greetings, everyone. We are currently on race 15 of 26. Only 2 races left to determine who's in and who's out for the playoff picture. Today it'll be 200 miles at Michigan. And it's going to be kind of different since most of the races we've been to this season have been super speedways. Michigan is classified as a super speedway, but it doesn't exactly run like a super speedway. 100 laps here, I'll click by pretty quickly, but I'm willing to wager we're going to see some new faces up front that we haven't seen in a while.
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
So as it's been highlighted in the last couple days, drivers that are locked into the playoffs as of right now include Chadwick, Cording, Me-Person, Oakley, Piano, Maggie Reams, Trevor Walker, Jack Ross, Tristan Reams, Hansen, and King. The ones on the bubble as of right now is Braden Hunt and Krista Cower. And Jack Davis is outside the top 25 with a win. If he can get enough points racked up to get back inside the top 25, we won't even be talking about the points position drivers. Likely in these last 2 races, we're going to have to see Krista or even Braden win a race if they want a guarantee into the playoffs. James King could still fall out, and that would give 2 spots for points. So we'll have to see how things play out here. There's a good chance we might see a repeat winner tonight here at Michigan. So the playoff picture might continue onward into the next race after that. Seems so far that Kellen Oakley's on the pole. Al Bunch with a solid start, starting in second there. Last week, our last place driver was Al Bunch, so if he can somehow pull off a win today, he'll earn Columbia Clothing Line as his sponsor. Seems that everyone got their second lap underway, and congratulations to Atlee Weiss on what would be his second pole of the season. I believe he started on the pole at Spa, so that is the second pole position for Atlee. Then we got Jordan Walker, who needs a win to get in. Guido Piano, Tristan Reams, both who are locked in. Then you got Kinsella Jr., who's had a rough season. Kellen Oakley doing all right. Roland Heidfeld's had a rough season. And you got last race winner Jack Ross. Krista Cower, who's been on a tear lately, getting back-to-back top 3 finishes. And Tim Hansen rounds out your top 10. Looks like Al Bunch will start 16th. Our other championship contenders, we've got Ant Me-Person starting in 22nd. Even deeper in the pack, we've got Chadwick starting 36, so he's got some work to do. Taden Berggren, 32nd. Trevor Walker, 31st. He's going to be in the 21 truck going forward. He has been in the 31. He's going to run the 21 for the remainder of this season and the start of 2023. So it looks like Braden Hunt starting 13th. He'll have to try and fend off all the other drivers out there to keep his points position and hope that another non-winner doesn't win a race today. So we're going to go ahead and take to the track now.
Start your engines!
Atlee would be an interesting addition to the playoffs, having only started the past 10 of 15 races. He didn't start the start of the season, but he's still eligible if he could pull off a win here. He would likely bump out some of the drivers deeper in the points if we had 14 winners. We could, well, actually, technically, we can only get, no, we could get 14 winners, because we've already had about 13 different winners so far. Jack Ross in the 17 truck isn't starting anywhere in the top 10, but he's going to need a good finish to get back into the points contention for the playoffs. Green light is off, and Atlee's off to a steady lead already. Guido Piano settles into second, and it looks like Jordan Walker might settle into about third there. As I mentioned earlier, 100 laps here at Michigan are going to fly by quickly. Before you know it, it'll be halfway, and then right after that it'll be finished race. Guido takes the lead here early on in the running. This will put Krista back on the spot for points contention if the playoff picture was in any way affected here. Especially how she's running third right now. She's outperforming Braden Hunt, and all she's got to do is beat him by 2 spots on track. You can see Braden sitting about 10th there, so Krista wants more than second. She's going to try to go for the lead here early on in the running. She's got the highest accumulated points of a non-winner, so she should be guaranteed into the playoffs, but the way that the system works out, that's never a guaranteed. In today's society where the wins are much more valued than your points total, the way I would do it, I'm still trying to figure out the perfect formula in my Cup Series where there's no playoffs, but there's enough variation to make for an entertaining championship battle, but not, not something that could potentially reward someone for lucking out on a championship. Didn't really put much emphasis on that end in my trucks here. We had a wreck just in the back there. It looked like Avery Farrell got connected 3 wide with a couple other trucks. Avery looks like he goes on without much trouble. It didn't look the same for everyone else. Unfortunately, it looks like Al Bunch is going to get the worst of this here. As he's sent tumbling at least once. Collects a couple more trucks. This might make a unfortunate cast of events for drivers that are trying to get into the playoffs. Trevor Walker is luckily locked in, so it ain't no big deal for him. His day is complete, as it looks like that truck might not be able to go on. So right there, they're 4 wide. Avery and Bindover collide with Al Bunch as he tumbles once. Al Bunch is spinning and collects Austin Mullins. And he continues to spin as a couple other drivers. Oh, that contact there by Roland Heidfeld had to put an end to both of their days as he collides with Trevor Walker there in the 21 truck. Full on T-boned. James King, Philip Leeds. Looks like Paulo Ladino got in a wreck somewhere during this. So early on in the race, we have a significant caution that comes out. Looks a lot like the big one at Daytona here. As they can't slow down or speed up, there's a lot of calamity. In the meantime, it looks like Tristan Reams takes the lead. See how Zach Armstrong wound up in this. Oh, it looks like Gavin Legend got contacted there too. Actually, it might have saved Gavin Legend as it kept him out of all the carnage in front of him. He also takes a tumble. And we'll just do a quick peek in on it. Gavin Legend's in car. If he would have kept going, he would have got way more damage than how it turned out here. As a simple spin out like that, he was able to avoid. Better count his lucky stars that that's all he came out of it with. So we'll have to regroup here and figure out just what's left at the end of all the destruction. So it looks like Roland Heidfeld, Al Bunch, Trevor Walker, Zach Armstrong, Philip Leeds, and Tim Hansen, as well as Paulo Ladino and Ben Dover, are out of the race due to that caution. Taden Berggren shows that he's a lap down. He's still running, so he just loses a lap. He's going to be able to avoid retirement from the race. As of right now, John Brinker is your leader in the race. Okay, so he stayed out during the pit stops. Everyone else pitted in front of him, and he's going to stay out. Mixes up the field a little bit as the way they run right now. John Brinker would be in, and I doubt that Jack Davis would have enough points to actually lock himself in. The only thing is James King, having a rough go of it, might fall out, and that would put Jack Davis in. So we're going to have to keep our eye on all of the scenarios to unfold here. Caution lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to get going green next time by. And the front of the field, it's John Brinker over Jack Davis, Tristan Reams, Matthew Fastnot, Braden Hunt, Guido Piano, Kellen Oakley, Maggie Reams, Krista Cower, and Aunt Me Person sitting in 10th at the moment. Then we got Lane Smith, Jack Ross, Luis Rodriguez, Chaz Chadwick, and Nathan Morgan. Gavin Legends up to 19th at the moment. We got Atlee Weiss in 20th. From the pole, it seems that he's kind of struggled, but might still surprise you here. Avery Farrell's coming back out on track after the damage he sustained in that wreck. So we'll see here just what John Brinker has for the lead. Fastnot looks like he's got a run here on the inside. A little bit of drafting help from Braden Hunt. And on lap 11, he's going to take the lead from John Brinker. And after taking the lead there, he's grew a steady deficit from second on back. Matthew Fastnot, who hasn't won a race yet this season, would also make this playoff picture very interesting. It's nice to see that our other two title contenders, or I guess I should say bubble contenders, are running second and fourth right now. Krista takes the position over Braden. But in the meantime, Brinker and Davis also take position on Krista. Brinker looks to have another run towards the front here. A little bit of help from, actually with no help from Jack Davis, as they're trying to make it 3 wide for the lead. And then all of a sudden, Ant Meeperson cracks into the picture here. Nice tight battle. We got 10 trucks here within the same zip code of each other. Brinker washes up a little high there. Krista takes advantage of this and doesn't get too bound up by the position change there. Looking deeper in the pack, it looks like Gavin Legend is up 4 spots now into P15. Taden Berggren now the lead truck on the lap down brigade, running in 28th. Kellen Oakley and Ant Meeperson swapped the lead there in the midst of one lap. And we got Lane Smith, but it looks like Krista to the point, taking the lead. Is there 4 wide over there? That's a hairy situation to be in, and it breaks. Oh, of course, as soon as I say something, we do get that wreck in the 4 wide. So it looked like Tristan was on the inside of at least Maggie Reams and a couple others. You got Guido Piano and Maggie Reams, as well as Jack Davis. Gavin Legend takes a hard hit there when he collides with Maggie. Braden just makes it by with very minimal. You could slide a piece of paper between the two trucks. But that's about it. It looked like just a few trucks were involved in the wreck on the second caution that we have. I did not expect Michigan to be a wreck fest. We might actually have a pretty crazy Michigan race on our hands here. Looks like Krista's going to go in with the lead on the caution here. Second with Aunt Me Person, and then Lane Smith in the top three. Oakley and Brinker round out your top five. So your takers on pit road, it looks like, is Aunt Me Person, Brinker, Piano, Davis, Reams, Cording, Morgan, Rodriguez, Kinsella, King, Tristan Reams, and David Bird. This is probably the smart strategy for these other trucks that may or may not have been involved in that last wreck, but also to get strategy ahead of the leaders to try and mix it up. Going back out there with fresh tires, they're going to have more of an advantage over those that stayed out. Kind of surprising Gavin Legend stays out even after making contact during that caution. Must not have got too much damage on that truck. It does not look like, no, Tim Cording is 18th on the lead lap. The only drivers we've got that are a lap down include Avery Farrell, Brandon Petrolsky, and Tayden Berggren. Current leader is Krista Cower, who definitely needs a win today to seal her position in the playoffs. But just about everyone else behind her would like to do the same. We got Lane Smith, who could potentially get into contention if he continues with a couple good races here at the end. He's going to have to make his way into the top 25 in points, which is no easy feat, given that he started as late as he did. Matthew Fastnot has had a back and forth kind of season. He's shown some races where he had some strength, and then there's been a lot of bad luck, it seems like. A win today would definitely help mend a lot of those wounds from his last several races this season. Jack Ross comes waltzing into Michigan here after winning the last race. Against all odds, he didn't see himself making it into the playoffs, and now it's a whole different story because he's in the playoffs and we've got a lot of trucks that probably should be in that are going to be out. That aside, he sits 12th in the points, so by all means, very much deserving of that playoff spot. Chadwick has been star of the show this year, killing it with consistency and to a tune of 2 wins on the season resume. He's going to be a dangerous contender for the championship this year. Had a couple rough runs recently. I think they've been trying to dial in the truck, trying to figure out what they can do differently. As they know they're already locked into the playoffs, they haven't been worried all that much. So, definitely last couple races have been trial and error, for sure. so that they got the best product going into the playoffs. Braden Hunt also, having not raced all the races this season, has been very strong and shows great promise for a championship contender in the years to come. He could potentially still fight for a championship this season too if the cards fall as they do. Still needs some luck, and definitely a win would go a long way to seal that deal. So it looks like after that wreck, even though Gavin Legend was involved, he's still running 13th at the moment. Atlee's made up about midfield now. He's sitting into 11th. The restart here is going to roll on lap 20 with Krista Cower in the lead. We still have 30 trucks running, 3 of which are a lap down. This last caution did not retire any drivers. It was a pretty simple spin by Tristan Reams. The pace truck is off. Drivers are getting ready to go here in the restart zone as Krista takes off. Toyotas have been a force to be reckoned with this season, as they've accumulated many poles and have been usually out there contending for wins as well. The only other trucks that have been in that same department of winning a lot is the Dodge. And just as that happens, we've got Toyota running 1-2 as Fastnot goes to take the lead from Krista there. Chaz Chadwick cracking into the top 3 for the first time today. Looks like he's got a little bit of drafting help from Braden Hunt there. Krista's going to do the good old Passover maneuver and takes the lead back to lead lap 22. So basically never lost the lead there. Led laps 21 and 22. It's looking like things might start to settle down here. Tristan must have had more extensive repairs done to his truck as he's about to go a lap down now. Or it's further damaged than at first expected. Our top 10 is all separated by 1 second. From Matthew Fastnot in first, we got Colton Smith in 10th. Jessica Hergeson in 9th. We got Jack Ross, James Robert, Braden Hunt, and you got Krista Cower in the top 5 at the moment with Lane Smith, Kellen Oakley, Chaz Chadwick, and Matthew Fastnot. This lap around will mark the quarter mark of the race on lap 25. Trucks are 4 wide again. Luckily, they shrink down to 3 wide there. This has been the danger spot on the track, exiting turn 2 there. Lap traffic there at David Bird. They're threading the needle, getting around him there. And Braden Hunt's coming in on a charge here. Getting by Chadwick and Krista both. Krista wants to make it 3 wide for the lead. Looks like Braden on the inside there. Shuffles Matthew up high. Krista peeks in, and now she takes point in the lead. Shuffling Braden back a little bit as Matthew settles into second. And then you look Jack Ross in the background trying to prove that last race wasn't no fluke and wants to try and get another win tonight. And Atlee has cracked his way into the top 10 again, so he might be a contender before the night's done. On the inside groove there, he's making some moves to get into the top 5. In the meantime, Matthew Fassnacht takes the lead over again. The driver that does end up winning the regular season championship, so whoever's leading the point standings after race 16 will win themselves 10 playoff points going forward. Each win that you've accumulated will count as 5, and the playoff champion, or the regular season champion, will get 10 as well to add on to that. So right now it's Krista and Jessica Hergeson along with Jack Ross there. Krista takes point again in the lead. And Jessica wants to do the passover maneuver as well. Gets behind Krista, pulls in inside of her, and then completes the pass to take the lead. Otherwise known as the passover maneuver. A little bit of drafting help there from Chadwick. Atlee Weiss is shining up front again here. Krista shakes a little bit, loses some traction as it's about to go 4 wide into the danger corner. And it happens yet again. The danger corner strikes hard. Oh, and Matthew Fassnacht's tumbling at the inside of the back stretch there. So yeah, Michigan is going to be a wreck fest. It's already proven to be so. It's a shame for Matthew Fastnot, who had a beyond stellar run going. This all started 3 wide with Jack Ross, Atlee Weiss, and a couple other trucks there. Colton Smith hits Matthew Fastnot, and that's where he begins to tumble. So if we look at where this all started, I don't think Weiss got much damage. It looks like his damage was very minimal. Jack Ross and Nathan Morgan, 3 wide with Weiss, is where the whole wreck starts. Atlee Weiss gets minimal damage. He gets pelted there by Avery Farrell, but not terrible for the wear. It's a shame for Colton Smith, who was just an unfortunate bystander during the wreck here. Seems that Gavin Legend's able to make it through just fine. Oh no, he did. He got pelted there again on the right front, so. So we got a lot of takers down pit road this time by. Current leader looks to be the one involved in the 3 wide melee, Nathan Morgan, who is also going to need a win to get in. Let's see, drivers that may have retired after that one. So it looks like we only lost 2 more trucks out there. We lost 33 of Colton Smith and the 09 of Matthew Fastnot. A big bummer for Matthew Fastnot, who had a really good run going up till that point. A lot of these other drivers are going to benefit from all these wrecks and cautions, as it's going to give them more position on track each time we have a retired driver here. So Taden Berggren could still find a way into the top 20 before the end of this if he keeps himself clean of any of the wrecks. John Brinker is going to have another decent starting position here. Started first in the last restart. Now he's going to start second in this one. So it looks like our lineup is as follows. We've got Nathan Morgan, John Brinker, Maggie Reams, Luis Rodriguez, Jack Davis, who, based on how he's running right now, would probably make his way back into the playoff picture, but would get bumped out because Nathan Morgan is leading and would inherit that 12th the 12th playoff spot. Then you got James King running 6th, which will keep him high enough to stay in front of Jack Davis. Kinsella Jr., Jessica Hergeson, Chaz Chadwick in 9th, Krista Cower in 10th, Tim Cording in 11th. Then we've got Lane Smith, Ant Meeperson, Braden Hunt, Jack Ross, Kellen Oakley, Austin Mullins, Lewis Trost, Jordan Walker, James Robert, Gavin Legend, Guido Piano, Atlee Weiss, and Tristan Reams. First truck 1 lap down is David Bird, Avery Farrell, Taden Berggren, and Brandon Petrolsky. Still, there's a lot of racing and there's a lot that can go on in 64 laps here. Roland Heidfeld, unfortunately, is going to be likely the driver with the most last place finishes in the season. He's had numerous already, and he's going to add another one to that ever-growing number of last place finishes. Pace truck's going to pull off here, and the trucks are going to be able to get back underway. Tristan Reams there is technically a lap truck. Nathan Morgan will get by him in quick order here, unless he's actually got a fast enough truck to stay out in front of him. I think the damage sustained from that wreck was a bit much for his truck, and it hasn't been running the same since. Nathan Morgan, who's in a must-win situation, definitely must be enjoying this opportunity to lead out front here. Maggie Reams right there behind him is locked in when she won one of the dirt races earlier this season. And Jack Davis 3 wide on the inside, going to try to take the lead from them both. Looks like he gets a little bit out of sorts there on the inside lane. This is going to give John Brinker a shot to try and pass him over. Brinker thinks better of it and holds suit behind him. Once we had a top 10 truck fight, now we only have 5. Trucks are getting damaged enough that they're struggling to keep up with the lead pack, apparently. Doesn't make sense though, because Krista Cower hasn't gotten any damage, so this lead pack they're just on a run right now. Aunt Me Person currently takes the position on Chadwick there. These guys here are going to catch up to the lead before you know it, though. It looks like they're starting to close the gap. What was about 2.5 seconds is down to 1 3/4, with Aunt Me Person closing in on them. Even though Aunt Me Person is locked, he's looking to get as many wins as he can to help seal a sturdy lead going into the playoffs. Right now he's going to have to hope for Chadwick to drop quite a few spaces so that he can make up max points on Chadwick this evening. Looks like Brinker and Davis are out front fighting for that lead. Somewhat two unlikely candidates that are fighting for the win here this evening. Like I stated earlier, I do think we were going to see a unique field at the front here for Michigan, as it's not quite a super speedway. but it's still 2-mile, very fast racetrack nonetheless. Just like that, Aunt Me Person is cracked inside the lead group here, into the top 5 and up to 3rd as they run. Braden Hunt coming in right there behind him as well. Nathan Morgan, who was leading at the start of the restart, has fallen all the way back to 5th at the moment. Aunt Me Person ain't settling till he takes the lead. It looks like he's going to get the lead here from Jack Davis. Braden Hunt's going to fight on the outside and lets off a little bit. Momentum's going to carry him though. Looks like Braden's going to pass him on the outside. That was a strong move there from Braden. Aunt Me Person ain't going away though. In the middle of turns 3 and 4, it looks like Ant's going to settle in with the lead now. Braden Hunt in 2nd. Nathan Morgan in 3rd. Jack Davis in 4th. Maggie Reams in 5th. You got Tim Cording, who's in the top 10 for what I believe is the first time in the race already. He's been able to avoid plenty of wrecks and carnage to get into the top 10, so that's a stellar performance from him. Braden back to the lead there, as you got Kellen Oakley. And even look at the rear bumper is missing off of Tim Cording's truck. He's had enough damage that they had to tear off the bumper. The front nose looks like it's been through a can crusher. And yet that truck's still running stronger than some of the other trucks out there right now. If you're just tuning in, we're on lap 46 of 100. We've seen, I want to say, 4 cautions already. We saw one early that took out numerous trucks. We had the big one here that took out Heidfeld, Bunch, Trevor Walker, Zach Armstrong, Philip Leeds, Tim Hansen, Paul Ladino, and Ben Dover all in one wreck. Then we had a second caution with a single spin by Tristan Reams. His truck hasn't been the same since. Then we had another wreck that involved Colton Smith and Matthew Fastnot. Matthew Fastnot was actually leading laps early in the race here and had a unfortunate caution put an end to his day. The rest of the drivers, as you see running up front now, have been most of the drivers that have been there. Krista's been fighting for the lead. Braden's been fighting for the lead. A lot of the drivers that need a win today. Jack Davis is doing well enough that he'll likely get back into the top 25. But it's all dependent on who might potentially win this race. If Krista wins the race and Jack Davis is in the top 25, that would still bump out Jack Davis, as we would have 13 winners at that point. And we got the lap traffic making commotion here at the front. Looks like we might be able to get around them without a caution here. A lot of these drivers still have an opportunity to improve their position. The more trucks that wreck out, the more positions they'll gain. In the meantime, Krista's going to take the lead here from Aunt Me Person. The other bubble contender being Braden Hunt right there behind her. The trouble spot on the track has been the exit of turn 2. If we're 4 wide coming out of turn 2, it's a surefire caution ready to happen. Luckily, 3 wide's okay. You can get out of turn 2 3 wide without any wrecks, but as soon as you're 4 wide exiting turn 2, it's game over. Halfway through the race, and Krista currently as the leader. She's probably led half those laps already. It's really neat when you actually need someone to do good. You got your title contenders fighting up here. Your bubble drivers are having a good run. Your title contenders are having a good run, fighting for the overall regular season championship. In the meantime, you have some surprise front runners as well. Tim Cording seems to be a zombie. That truck keeps taking lickings, keeps on ticking. Gavin Legend as well has seen numerous contacts, but hasn't retired due to it yet. He's currently running P20, so the damage is starting to catch up to him. Currently, Braden Hunt took the lead. Only for a while there as Aunt Me Person reclaims it. And Tim Cording now up to second. If he could somehow pull off a win, that would be a big feat to pull off after being... We might have to find a way to reward this run from him, regardless of how his overall result is. So amongst all the carnage and whatnot, it looks like we'll have at least 14 trucks in contention at the end of it here. Possibly 15, but easily 14 that haven't sustained too much damage and are still running good. Krista looks like she's going to try to take the lead back here. Thing is, it's not over for Braden Hunt if he can't pull off the win tonight. If he were to win the last race at Escondido, he'll just end up bumping someone else out that didn't make up enough points. He currently sits 5th in the points, and Krista sits 6th in the points. Our top 4 have all won a race, so in a perfect world, 5th and 6th place should have a win. And therefore, whoever is outside the top 12 is at risk of getting bumped out. Yeah, I think that one is AAA that I have set up. So if you have mechanical failure, which I think we would classify this as mechanical, even though it was caused by wrecks, the truck is definitely not all mechanically stable. Sponsors AAA. Sponsor a driver that suffers mechanical failure and still manages to complete 90% of the laps with a top 10 finish. The verdict is still out, but I would be willing to reward that for this run here. Maybe hard to believe, but Aunt Me Person only has 1 win on the season so far. Wow, that was a tight fit there for Ant when he closed in on David Berg. The rest of the trucks are having a hard time getting around him here. You get to the backstretch, they're probably going to shuffle around him a little bit easier. Still makes it a little difficult there. No caution, no wreck. We got some more pit stops, looks like. With 40 laps to go, this definitely is the last time these guys will pit. Avery Farrell has a mechanical failure there. Engine damage got too strong on that truck, and it's probably going to be a retirement for Avery Farrell. Even after lap traffic, looks like everyone bounces back pretty quickly. Krista's back inside the top 5, fighting for position there on Braden. About to work her way around Tim Cording here. Back into second. Likely be fighting Me Person for the lead. The rest of the lap traffic here with King, Berggren, Walker, and Petrolsky. This will be a roadblock from hell. With all due respect, it's not the driver's fault, it's their truck's fault for being as slow as the damage that they've sustained. Krista makes out on that with the lead. Looks like they're going to shuffle around those lap trucks a little bit quicker than the rest of them. They're not far off from the pack. They're just a little bit too damaged to stay with the lead draft. With 36 laps to go, I'm not certain who's all got more pit stops along the horizon here. With the the back half of the track pitting like they did, we might still see the front half to pit here in a while. The way things are running though, James King in his 22nd. It might be good enough to keep a top 25 at the moment, but we might as well assume the worst into that. He might fall out of the top 25 and lose his playoff lock. Jack Davis, who's running 19th, might also do the same. And then we'd be looking at whoever wins this race. If it's Braden Hunt or Krista Cower, one will be in and one will still be on the bubble going into the last regular season race. But that doesn't even equate for who else is out there that could still win this race. Our winner at the last race at Lakewood didn't even lead until the last 2 laps of the race and then won it. Might have another situation like that unfold today here at Michigan. And here I was saying that this race was going to clip by pretty quickly. We're slowly approaching the 1 hour mark, due in part to the cautions that we had at the start of the race. Michigan actually kind of turned into a wreck fest. We had cleaner races on the super speedways with less wrecks. Just so happens coming to Michigan was the danger zone. Pocono too should be a pretty hard race track to get out clean. Krista back to the lead here on lap 69. Braden Hunt's fighting inside on that low group there. Looks like Ant Me Person and Chaz Chadwick have connected nose to tail. And Tim Cording still hanging in there in the top 10 at the moment. Gonna make the most of a rough day for sure. $30 laps to go this time around. At this point, it's hard to say who's led the most laps so far. Ant Me Person's been out front for quite a few lead laps here. Krista Cower's led a lot of laps, but at the same time, we've had Braden Hunt share the lead. And earlier on, way early, was Matthew Fastnot, who looked to be in contention to win it. All of a sudden, Austin Mullins cracks into the top 5 here. Previously involved in a couple of the wrecks. Seems that his truck is still strong enough to run up front here. It would be another surprise winner, another surprise lock if Mullins could pull this off. Last race was Jack Ross, who has been locked down to drive in the Penske Cup ride next season. Well, his teammate in that Penske Cup Series, in the Cup Series with Penske teammate, will be Austin Mullins. So perhaps good luck will be on the side of them both, even though it's still 28 laps to go. There's no telling what could happen. It would just be a crazy story that the two drivers that won the Penske ride could potentially win back-to-back in the trucks after having been winless, earning their way into the Cup Series. Seems that Tim Courting has pulled off to the pits, willing to wager that the rest of these trucks still have to pit then. Oh wait, no, my bad. Tim Courting's right there in the top 5. I lost track of him. 4 wide though, this is going to be dangerous going into turn 2 here. Cooler heads prevail as they all kind of get things lined out there. Every wreck in the race has been 4 wide out of turn 2, so our lead pack is 11 trucks separated by 1 second. Aunt Me Person's coming down pit road now, so this will be the final stop for him. Kellen Oakley leads that lap. Let's see this lap by who else will take the opportunity to pit. Looks like Tim Courting's gonna pit. So that makes 2 of the top 11 coming down pit road. Aunt Me Person rejoins the track. It looks like right on the front end of the lap, front end of being a lap down. Now out there with fresher tires. It looks like everyone around him is going to pit this time by. No, still only 1 truck this lap with Austin Mullins. That still shows that we've got 8 trucks out front running that have not pitted. And there we go, Tim Courting's rejoining the track now. Just about in the same spot that Aunt Me Person did. This might be the hardest part for Tim Courting to come out without any drafting help. He's going to have to hope for someone to wind out there right with him. There we go. Half the 8 come in. We got Braden Hunt, Krista Cower, Jessica Hergeson, and Jack Ross. So it looks like we're going to have at least a drafting partner here for Tim Courting in Austin Mullins. So that might be helpful. 21 laps to go this time. And the rest of your leaders, except for the two, well, no, except for Chaz Chadwick, who's staying out one extra lap longer. Aunt Me Person had already pitted, so he's right there on the tail end of the lead lap. The rest of them rejoin the track, and I think once things shuffle out, Aunt Me Person will be back to the lead again. No drafting help as he runs at the moment. He's probably going to get enveloped by Braden Hunt and Krista Cower and Jessica Hergeson. Not bad. Austin Mullins comes out 5th. No. Why is it crashing? Don't crash on me. Wait, what? Oh, we weren't live. My heart dropped into my stomach there for a minute. I was like, why? Believe it or not, Brinker's running top 15 at the moment. Not as bad as all the others that were involved in all the wrecks that we've had so far. Roland Heidfeld, Al Bunch, Trevor Walker, Zach Armstrong, Philip Leeds, Tim Hansen, Paulo Ladino, Ben Dover, Colton Smith, Matthew Fastnot, and Avery Farrell, all involved in a wreck of some sort, out of the race. David Bird is 5 laps down. Brandon Petrolsky is 2 laps down, as well as Jordan Walker and Tayden Berggren. Kinsella, King, and Tristan Reams all 1 lap down. Then Guido Piano's running 20th at the moment. Luis Rodriguez going up. We got Atlee Weiss, Louis Trost, Gavin Legend, James Robert, Jack Davis, John Brinker, Maggie Reams, Nathan Morgan, and Chaz Chadwick. Then you got Jack Ross, Austin Mullins, Tim Courting, Lane Smith, Krista Cower, Braden Hunt, Jessica Hergeson, Kellen Oakley, and your current leader, Aunt Me Person. Plus, I hope I fixed any more potential crashes for the future. Like, I got rid of all startup programs, and I cut as much background processes as I can with Windows 10, since Windows 10 is very restrictive when it comes to disabling background programs for whatever reason. Just in time for all the playoffs and the races where it really matters to not have technological difficulties. This right here is setting up to be one of the most key races of the season right here. Our playoff hopeful contenders have a shot at winning it to get in right at crunch time too. It'll definitely be a clutch win for whoever pulls it off. We're witnessing the formation of the inaugural round of 12 in the USA Truck Series. And this will be a fine class for sure, with a strong group. Aunt Me Person, Chaz Chadwick, Kellen Oakley, Tim Courting for sure has earned his way in. Jack Ross has been consistent and surely earned his way in. Maggie Reams and Tristan Reams wouldn't have it any other way because they had the first race they're out on the track with the trucks. Wasn't a points paying win, but they ended up finishing 1 and 2 to set their ratings to be the top 1 and 2 drivers in the series. And it surely worked out that way. They're not necessarily the top 2 as things have gone with the points and whatnot, but for sure, title contenders. You got Guido Piano, who kind of came out of nowhere, has been good running. Trevor Walker, who's unfortunately out of this race, earned his way in with a strong win earlier at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. And we're still waiting to see who the 12th contender is. Could be Krista Cower here, who's leading at the moment. Could be Braden Hunt, who's just lurking in the background there. Lane Smith, even though unlikely that he'll make the playoffs, he's definitely having some good runs here towards the later half of the season. Looks like Kellen Oakley back to the lead there. We've got some lap traffic causing issues at the front here. This gives Krista one more opportunity to regroup and take another shot to the lead. I don't think you want to be leading on the last lap. You'll be a lame duck sitting out front waiting to lose the lead. Where we once had 11 trucks contending for the win, it is down to, looks like 6 trucks in contention here in the closing laps of this one. Chadwick, Ross, Mullins, and Cording all kind of lost touch with the draft. Jack Davis sitting in 11th will be a good finish for him. Brinker with a top 15. Nothing to complain about there. Jessica Hergeson takes the lead here with 9 to go. And Krista's going to start meandering her way up to the front again. Braden in P4, Kellen Oakley P3, Aunt Me Person P2. Eight laps to go. It's going to be a put up or shut up time right about here. Unfortunately, Atlee Weiss is going to go lap down, running in 18th at the moment. Any one of these 6 trucks could win the race. They're all tight enough up front that you just got to find the right holes, the right moves to make it up to the front. Krista's in that high lane, which might be a little bit risky. He can't get as much of a momentum, not as much of a run on the outside as he can on the inside. Especially when you got lap traffic in the way. Jordan Walker there is going to slow up this pack a little bit. Looks like Braden gets on the inside, so that'll be able to make way and get by him without any trouble there. Now we got 5 laps to go here. Current leader, Ant Me Person over Kellen Oakley and Jessica Hergeson. Atlee Weiss is kind of settled in there with the lead draft, even though he's a lap down. His truck is evidently still strong enough to keep up with the lead draft here. If we're to have a caution anytime now, it'll likely end the race under caution. Kellen Oakley is peeking on the inside there. As we got 3 wide with Krista Cower, Luis Rodriguez, and Braden Hunt. These guys are starting to lose touch with the lead 3 there. Krista wants to make up as much ground as she can and try to get by the slower traffic that sits in front of her. Looks like Braden Hunt's going to follow suit right behind her. Except he ain't going to cooperate and draft. He's going to try to make a pass on her to get back to the front quicker. 3 wide for the lead. Looks like Ant Me Person will prevail on that. Braden Hunt making a charge here on the inside. 3 laps to go. Jessica Hergeson kind of breaks out in front of him, slowing his charge. Braden Hunt with the solid charge here in the closing 3 laps. Jessica Hergeson currently P1 at the moment. This win would lock her into the playoffs. Ant Me Person seems to have laid off and let the playoff hopefuls fight it out here in the front. Looks like he's going to kind of settle for a top 5 at the moment. Krista gets another run on the inside here of Braden. She's got an opportunity to draft with Kellen Oakley, and she doesn't take it as she wants to get second from him. Just like that, I was counting Ant Me Person out. It looks like Ant Me Person back up to 3rd now. David Bird kind of hoses the outside lane there, giving P2 to Krista Cower. Jessica Hergeson maintains her lead at the moment. It's going to be white flag next time by. All these drivers are going to have one more opportunity to try and take the win here at Michigan. Thinking Krista's best opportunity will be getting in front of Ant Me Person and inside of the bottom lane. Unfortunately, it did not work out for her, as she's now stuck outside, almost 3 wide in the outside. Ant Me Person holding 2nd down right now. But it looks like Jessica Hergeson is going to cruise to victory here at Michigan and clinch a playoff position. Coming home in 3rd is Krista Cower, who, based on everything else that's going on right now, probably can still make it in on points if James King falls out of the top 25. Definitely looking like she's going to have to win next week at Escondido. However, Jack Davis came home in 11th, so that will probably put him in, and that'll give us 12 drivers in on wins at the moment. So we'll have to hold tight on the points, see how they tally up. But all this stress got a lot easier for one driver tonight, and that's Jessica Hergeson in number 40, F-150 Ford, bringing home her first win of the season in that Miller Lite truck. Aunt Me Person might have just given himself an opportunity to catch back up to Chadwick in the points battle, as Chadwick wound up with an 8th. So we'll see how that folds out too. Next race will definitely be a wild card, as it's another super speedway race. There's no telling how the last race of the regular season will play out. Got 15 races down in the books. We got 11 to go, 10 of which will have the round of 12, the round of 6, and then the round of 3 to determine who the overall champion is. So overall, congratulations to Jessica Hergeson on what I would say was a surprise win. We didn't see that one coming.
Did you have
Krista
that
Cower and Braden Hunt both were looking strong all day here at Michigan. But it's Jessica Hergeson who gets it done. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Our next race might be sooner than you think. I don't know how my schedule is going to play out, but the next race will definitely give us the full picture on how everything's going to play out going into the playoffs. So hope to see you in the next live stream. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a good night. This is Jakester signing out.